All right, in case you have not noticed, it is very cold outside in most of America. How cold is it? So cold that sharks are freezing to death in Cape Cod. So cold, the annual polar bear plunges around the country being canceled. So cold, cities are scrapping their New Year's Eve countdowns. Not this one, though. Don't worry, Kennedy. It's so cold, the president now defending it. Someone tell Jesse he's still got to come to work. Defending his decision again to pull us out of the climate deal in light of the Arctic temperatures. For example, I have a tweet of his. In the East, it could be the coldest New Year's Eve on record, the president tweets. Perhaps we could use a little bit of that good old global warming that our country, comma, but not other countries, comma, again, was going to pay trillions of dollars to protect against. Bundle up.
Exclamation point.
Thank you. Hey, didn't Al Gore issue that dire warning 7 years ago while accepting his Nobel Peace Prize that the entire polar ice cap may disappear by 2014?
Scientists reported with unprecedented alarm that the North Polar ice cap is, in their words, falling off a cliff. One study estimated that it could be completely gone during summer in less than 22 years. Another new study to be presented by U.S. Navy researchers later this week warns it could happen in as little as 7 years. 7 years from now.
All those people were sitting there shivering in fear, wondering when Al Gore was going to stop talking or start. In 2006, he also said within the next 10 years, the world will reach a point of no return. We're past that point of no return, and we've returned.
Not good.
So, the president tweets out, and they say, oh, my goodness, he doesn't like science, Marie Harf.
Yes.
He says global warming can't happen if we're freezing to death. Is he right?
No, he's trolling liberals. That's what he's doing here. Look, climate change doesn't mean that it can't be cold. And depending on where you live, hot gets hotter, cold gets colder. Last year was the hottest year on record. The year before that was the second hottest year on record. He does not understand climate science, but his administration actually does.
Does Al Gore
The 13 scientific agencies in the Trump administration affirmed that global warming is real and that humans are the cause.
Wait, global warming or climate change?
Manhattan,
I'm confused about the terminology here.
See, that's the thing. I agree with you that the climate is certainly changing and weird stuff is going on and we can't necessarily control it. The part that we can control, we have to look at that logically and rationally and not emotionally. And I think that's been very problematic.
It's almost like a religion.
And it is a religion. It is incredibly dogmatic. And if you disagree with it, people like Tim Cook say you should be thrown in prison. I don't disagree with it, but I love actual science, and science is based in rationality. So what do we do now? How much of our economy do we sacrifice in order to fix the problem?
And do you have to sacrifice it? I mean, clean energy is actually an economic job creator. They are making huge profits now.
Because they're subsidized by the government.
Coal is
10 times more than oil and gas.
Coal is subsidized much more than clean energy. Wind,
no, it's not.
Wind,
That's
solar. Go to a state like Texas.
Wind and solar are subsidized 10 to 1.
Go to a state like Texas, where they are the home
I've been there. I've done stories
of oil
from
and gas.
Texas
They
and
are
the wind
also
turbines.
investing in solar and wind at historic rates, and their energy costs are going down, and they're helping save the planet.
They're also fracking.
One thing,
They are fracking. Fracking is much better for the planet than
They're also
coal.
fracking a lot.
Right. Tom, calm down, okay? Let somebody else get a word in.
I'm a denier. I can't calm down.
He's not allowed to say anything.
Manhattan was, according to Al Gore, Manhattan was going to be underwater because of Greenland ice melt. Kilimanjaro was going to be snow-free, and we would be battling rapidly rising temperatures and stronger, more frequent storms. Manhattan's only been underwater once in the last few years.
It's true.
Tom, what's your reaction?
And the polar bear would be swimming.
Was President Trump wrong to tweet that out?
No, he is trolling. I'll agree with Marie Harf on that. Trolling, but that's what he does. And everyone's losing their minds. The thing is, I want to stop having this argument about is it or isn't it, because now we have the people, they call them deniers, but on the other side, I call them the explainers. The explainers are saying, well, no, it's the solar winds, and the solar winds wouldn't be happening if everyone... You know, I'm sick of the explainers. The thing is, I want to talk about the fact that carbon emissions, the one solution that people have on the left is cap the carbon, hurt our economy. That's not a good solution.
That's not the one solution. That's not also what it
All
does.
you guys will do. The only
How rich
thing
is Al Gore gotten
carbon.
selling carbon?
Right.
That's the Paris
private plane.
That's the Paris Agreement that we pulled out of, right?
But this is a real problem.
I just am tired of celebrities like Leonardo DiCaprio, who owns a big yacht and a private jet to fly to the UN to give us all a lecture about how we need to do less for the planet. Well, you can start, first of all. The second thing is there's a difference between pollution and climate change. Are there things that we have done in the United States to stop pollution? to clean up the environment? Absolutely. We should be doing more of that. China and India should be doing
They
more
are.
of that.
Okay, China and India are.
One more thing.
China and India
I
are.
accept the premise that the climate is changing. It has been changing for billions of years. I'm from Arizona. It used to be under an ocean. You can find seashell fossils at the top of the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. Now, I'm going to get a lecture about the difference between weather and climate change.
It's not a lecture,
But the
it's
fact
facts.
is that the planet has been changing for a very long time, and we shouldn't throw our economy away to try and act like we can control 1 or 2
No,
areas.
but I love the idea. I don't think we need big government solutions. I love technology. If there are companies
Bring it up.
that allow
great
me to
industry.
drive around a Willie Nelson's tour bus that is fueled by biodiesel
Right.
or
a Partridge Family bus, which seemed very gas efficient.
Or a Flintstones bus where you can just
That was a great
bike
point.
your
rest in
way.
Use your
Cassidy's
feet.
soul, then
your feet.
go ahead. Let's embrace the future.
All right, I think that was a wonderful way to end.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, fantastic.